What is up, everybody? Wagme Capital here, coming at you this Monday. It was a jam-packed day for SPY, so let's get to it. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to split today into 5 sections. So you can see, section 1 here, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So we'll go over these one by one. I can kind of tell you what I was thinking, why I split these up, and how you guys could have traded it. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with 1. This is the first hour of the day. So this green box here. This is yesterday's close. This is today's open. So I mean, a slight, I don't even know if you could call this a gap up, but basically starting where last week left off. And if you look at this pattern, I mean, it's just choppy, right? Like there's no clear indication which way the market's going. There's no clear uptrend, no clear downtrend. Like you could have played this Nirvana inside outside candle up to like our key level and exited here. But I didn't trade at all here. This was just a hard market to get a read on. Wasn't sure which way it was going. Beginning of the week can have that, a little overactivity, some fake outs. So session 1, just a chop fest. I steered clear. Session 2 is this one right here. And this is where I saw a downtrend, okay? So right here, this is my key level going into the day. We break it, briefly close just above, and then obviously just like effectively reject it. So if you'll see, my key level might have been off by, what did this close at? 450.97. So might have been off by 10, 25 cents. Because we did close above, but effectively rejected it. So maybe we should have had our level around 451. But this session 2, so this box right here, I think it's a clear downtrend. So we trend down, make a low, couple green candles, retrace, go back down. So basically, just follow that white line. You can see we're making lower lows and lower highs. These blue lines are kind of where buyers step in. So we're trending down, buyers step in here, kick it up a little bit, but then boom, lower than this blue line. So we go up from the blue line, but then lower, right? Then buyers step in here, we kind of chop around, and then boom, lower, and then we end up right here. So for me, like if I was drawing like a trend line, it could have looked something like this, right? I don't know this, but these green arrows. So I entered here, and then exited half here and half here. So this was about a 20% gain. So how did I do this? I'm looking at these blue lines as key levels. These are where buyers are stepping in, right? So like we're going down and then we don't go down anymore. We actually go up. So like clearly buyers are stepping in here. Same thing here. Like we recover a little bit, but then sellers, outside candles step in, boom, go down. But buyers step in here. We can't like get below this blue line. So to me, this is a clear downtrend. Boom, boom, boom. Up, and then if we would have kept going down, clear downtrend, right? But we kind of here, like, it's not chop, it's just like a 20-minute period, but like here we have a little hesitation, a little more than here, right? So we fall down, go up. We don't like keep making lower lows. Like if we would have just followed the trend, we would have gone like this, right? Instead, we go kind of sideways here. But then once we fall below this blue line right here, I'm like, okay, it's back on. And that's why our trend line doesn't really, it's not great. Like it would have been great if it could have been like this. Like if this candle would have dropped, then we would have had a clean trend line, but we don't because this one bounced around sideways for so long. But I entered here because of this blue line. Boom, we drop below. I'm like, all right, downtrend, back on, baby. Let's go. I need a good entry now. I don't want to like FOMO, like huge red candles and just get FOMO. So we do here, we touch this blue line. I enter right here. So first of all, at the time, this candle was green, right? It opens here and it wicks up. So the put premiums are getting cheaper because this is rising. So I got a cheap option. I got a good entry because I can set my stop loss 10% here. And if we hit my stop loss, like let's say like up here, then I know the downtrend's over, right? Like if I enter down here and set my stop loss here, it's like, okay, we could kind of wick back up or close here and still continue the downtrend. So this was just like it just worked out perfectly. You're not always going to get this. Like I just got lucky on the timing. Not going to pretend like I just nailed this every time, but yeah, this was like a picture perfect entry. Wrote it down, exited here 20%. So half my position for 20% gains. Then we had, you know, a little hesitation, and I think I just had a stop. I just set my stop loss at 20%, or like 15% or something here. So I got stopped out. But yeah, this was session 2, like follow the white line, the blue line's right. Like this one, there's no clear, like down, but up, but down, but up, down, but then down, and then like right, like there's no trend line you can draw here. But here, you know, I think kind of clear downward pattern. And we made some profits. So that was kind of, call it session 2 on today. After this downtrend, we kind of collect ourselves, the market. Again, this is session 3. I call it like a choppy session. There's no clear downtrend. There's no real move to be made. Like it's a little unclear which way the market wants to go. Then we enter period 4, session 4, and this is the opposite of 2. It's an uptrend. So this one's pretty clean. We have this green trend line, right? And like clearly we stay above it. We got a couple tests of it, which is perfect. These blue lines are where sellers step in, right? So you can see they keep getting higher and higher, which is like the definition of an uptrend. So I entered here on this green arrow, just a recovery, right? It's the same idea. Like you don't want to go FOMO on these green candles. You kind of want to pull back on the red candle. Because look, this is the trend line, right? And like, you're not going to be able to draw it here. Like this is done like here, and then I'm using it as support here. But you know, you're going to kind of pull back. Like if this just ripped green, I would have just missed the play, which is fine with me. Like, listen, I just missed it. I'm not going to FOMO and chase this. But what I'm looking for is like a move up, okay, a retrace, a move up, a retrace, a move up, a retrace. And on the retrace is where you want to enter. Premiums are less expensive. And just like we talked about last time, you get a good entry. So like this would have been a perfect entry. This would have been perfect, right? Perfect. So this wasn't perfect, but it was on the retrace move as opposed to like the green push up. I actually got stopped out here for break even. So once we got up here, I think I was like 10 or 15% gains. I'm looking for 20% gains. I set my stop loss for break even once we got up here and got stopped out here. So this trade actually didn't make me money, but you know, if I would have held on and had more conviction in the uptrend, I mean, throughout the day, this would have made a good chunk of change. But again, these are the markets you want to trade in. This is like, again, this is easy in hindsight, right? Like the chart is all played out. I can draw my trend line, but I drew this trend line midday. As you can see, like I'm entering here because of this thesis. It's like in this market, like it's just hard. This up, but then kind of sideways, that like it's hard to trade in these choppy markets. This one is a clear uptrend for an extended period of time. What is this? 9:40 to 12:10. So that's 2.5 hours. We're just kind of trending up. So you don't like, just be patient, find your entry point and just confirm, you know, we're making higher highs. So that's session 4. Session 5 is just a flush. So again, our key level was probably a little low. Like, you know, if this would have been 451, we could have called this like a rejection of our trigger. But the 2 keys you could have seen here, 1, the break of the trend line, right? Okay, that trend up is over. Like buyers did not step in and keep this above the trend line. So like sellers are clearly dominating here. And then second, this 513 EMA cloud, it's on a downslope here. So it's not red, it's not flipping, but you can see like it's sloping upward, right? And then we slope downwards, which means it's looking to flip. Maybe on this wick, you could have gotten it because 450 is a pretty key level. And then it flips and this just flushes to end the day. And then, you know, buyers step in strong, just typically the last candle of the day. There's really high volume and we got a little push back up. But that was it, guys. That was it. So really, like, I mean, 2 periods where I was looking to trade. This downtrend, we made 20%. Uptrend, we broke even. And then I didn't get in here. I was just offline by then. But, you know, if you were still around, you could have seen that play, break of the downtrend or the trend line. Buyers did not step in. What does that mean when we break the trend line? It means buyers keep stepping in. So boom, trend line, and it's like, okay, buyers push back up. Trend line, buyers push back up. Trend line, buyers push back up. Here, trend line, buyers did not step in. Sellers win, and you get a huge flush. So that's what I was looking at today, guys. Check out the blog. I posted a recap of this and have my outlook for tomorrow. So make sure to check that out. But hopefully you learned something. I hope this made sense. Let me know in the comments and we'll see you again tomorrow.